Hey friends, it's Robyn again, Inspired Robyn Healer. Has been a while since I hopped on and did a video, and partly there's been a lot going on for me. It's been wonderful having my healing room here open again, or a grand opening, but it has been a little quiet on purpose, I think, because I have been going through my own healing journey some more. And this is hard for me to get up here and speak to you, given that 2 years ago I hopped in this, probably, I think it was this same dress, and spoke to you all about my MRI results 2 years ago. And this Monday I got my MRI update, just gone, and it wasn't the same grand, wonderful news as it was 2 years ago. I had known and I had suspected that some negative stuff would come back, given that probably over the last 6 to 9 months I've gradually felt symptoms returning for me, and mostly cognitive and fatigue, and a bit of not so much optic neuritis, but my vision has been, and I think it may have to do with using mobile phones or cell phones to look at social media and emails and you name it. And I have glasses now, as you will have seen. I got them last year, which help. Yet it's still a thing. Anyway, I'm sitting here with a, what do you call it, thing to go get blood tests done, because the conversation about my MRI results led to the conversation about taking an immunosuppressant again. And those of you who know my story know that I took Copaxone for 14 months. I need my glasses on today. 14 months when I was first diagnosed, and then I had my daughter, and then I took it again another 14 months. And to be 115% honest, I'll give it a bit of extra percent. I feel much better when I am not on it. And I have hesitations going on another one. I know there's been a lot of change, and I did discuss this with the neurology team that called me to give me my results on Monday. Just to fill you in, I haven't seen the pictures because it was a teleconference. However, there are two bigger plaques or white spots on my brain, one on the left, one on the right. They're bigger than the old ones. So I haven't seen the photos on the MRI. They did invite me to come for the next appointment, but they've sent me a phone appointment, so I don't know what's going on there. To come and see the pictures. I would like to see the report, to be honest, and have the details so I can see. They couldn't confirm whether they were active or not. I declined to have contrast in the last MRI. I don't know whether that was a poke or a stab at my not taking the contrast, because apparently the contrast helps you to see if the lesions are active now. And I didn't want to take the contrast because I felt sick, and I had an anxiety attack last time when they injected it into me. I could feel it and I could taste it, and I really didn't want to go through that again. Yeah. So they want to test me, do the full blood count, liver function, HIV antibody, hepatitis B, C, full screen serology, core antibody, syphilis, varicella, measles. I want to check everything, because there's some drugs out there that have side effects that you cannot take them if you've got them in your system. Mumps, rubella, and quantiferon TB. So they want to test me for all of those things to make sure that there's none of that going on in my system, because some of the newer therapies can react in a negative way if you have them in your system active. So that's fair that they want to be cautious on that, and it may be good to know. I don't know. Something inside says err on the side of caution. I know there are people here that follow me who are also people with diagnosis of MS. So please, if you do have experience with an immunotherapy that you're on, that's good. Or you know of someone that has a good experience with one of them, please do message me, private message me, and I'd love to have a conversation, because I want to be totally informed, but I don't want to be informed by the pharmaceutical companies. I want to know from people that are actually experiencing it firsthand. All I can say is that I don't feel that Copaxone helped me. It actually made me go into a downward spiral more than it helped. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Yes, so it has been a wake-up call in the side of my managing stress, my managing my life, my I can't not wear my glasses today. Whenever I take my glasses off, it feels like everything just goes on into a blur a little bit, or it's a strain. So this is helping me to focus a little bit when I'm looking at a screen, looking at paper. So I don't know if you can tell from this video how I'm feeling right now. Yeah, it's a whole sight different to the week that I opened this room. That week was just phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. And this week it's just pet sitting and babysitting for me. So it's not my heart's work. I'd rather have you guys in here or online having a healing session. I'm going to flip to another part of the story. Let's leave all of that downward stuff away, because the advice I've been given also by Spirit and by some healers that I've worked with recently is to focus on the good things that I can be doing, and that's where I want to take this, rather than going down this road of immunotherapies. Although you're welcome, please do reach out to me and let me know. I feel the empowerment to get back on track with my lifestyle and setting boundaries around stressful things, and getting busy doing the healing work will help me better than that. Before I do segue into the good stuff, I'll just give you a rundown of the symptoms that I've had. I've had a bit of, obviously, the sight, like the foggy brain, cognitive function. Mood has definitely been a huge thing. I've been going through a bit of anxiety and depression again. No matter what, I mean, I still take the NRF2. Doesn't seem to lift my spirits that much. Yeah. Dropping things occasionally. Just fatigue, really. Very similar to my early symptoms. And a lot of my early symptoms have been mood related, and brain related, like as in thinking and putting information together. It's been quite challenging. I've wanted so badly, and I thought it was just the whole COVID thing last year, to put things together and do more blog posts and do more videos and do more marketing and things. However, it's just been hard for me to get my head around it physically, like get my head around it. It's not that I'm not smart, it's just that it's been tiring. And that's the invisible. People with MS, you'll know. People with chronic disease will know. That is part of the invisibleness of this disease, is that you can hide it really easily just by not showing up. Oh, I don't want to cry. Anyway. If this video does get posted, you know I got brave. this too shall pass, because I've been here before and will bounce back again, because I'm tough. Deep down I am tough. Showing this vulnerability is tough for me right now because I don't want to. The reason being is I didn't want, after 2 years ago and all the good things and starting to write my book and living back some of that stuff and seeing how far I'd come, and that's really awesome, like, in seeing the journey and why this happened, why the things that I've had to work through in my life. The thing is, it just goes to show that we can go into slumps, we can fall back down the rabbit hole, we can have relapses for whatever reason. I sense, as someone who's growing her intuitive connection, I sense that a lot of this has had to do with stress and the way I've handled life in recent months. And admittedly, you know, sometimes there's so many things in life we can't control. And we do. And I think it's happened so that I can be a demonstration of, you can fall down, but we can get back up again. And that's, when I was walking out the door yesterday, I had a healing, a really intense healing with it. This is my new business, or my new idea to share with you, but that, stay tuned. Not today. I had a healing. I'm part of a group that are the most heart-centered, beautiful people, beautiful healers, and it's growing at a rapid rate. There's more and more happening, more and more people coming on board. And they're so generous. We're all so generous and caring and nurturing with our time, and we're all so different in what we can bring to the healing world in this form of all the different forms of Reiki, Seishem, even access bars for all you want to say, any of the healing modalities. I was talking orthobionomy a few weeks ago when I went to Robyn, saw him. So there's a purpose and my head is just opening up and the eyesight is clearer. Just talking about this, because this is my element. This is what I'm talking about. Bouncing back is getting back on the path that is your path. Getting back within that light force of you that is who you are and what you're here to do. And that is the next part, the next phase of my healing journey. So I had this healing on Wednesday with the beautiful Helen, and I'm going to talk more about her in the future, don't worry. And for those also of you who know my story, you will know that I in 2011 had my very first chronic cerebral spinal venous insufficiency liberation. So that was opening up the jugular veins with a venoplasty and a balloon. I had that done and it gave me my life back. It got me back into the gym and it got me feeling sensations back in my hands, and my brain fog disappeared and all that. And slowly but surely, I had about 5 treatments of that over the course of around 4 years, but the last one wasn't able to reopen this left side. The vein just didn't want to anymore. It was weakened, I guess. But this healing that I had, of many things that happened in that healing on Wednesday, one of them was the feeling of opening up in that headspace that I had on that first day, and every time I went for a CCSVI that worked, which warms my heart and it makes me feel hope again. And it also edifies this power and strength of energetic healing, of working with spirit and angels and energy. Working with, I use this book a lot in my healings, and so does this healer Helen that I went to. I'm working on myself on a lot of things from that healing day. Stuff that I should have known to do anyway, but don't shoot on yourself. But to have that same feeling and to start feeling the sensations in your fingers again, like I did back then, is amazing. It's powerful. It gives me hope, and it reaffirms and it cements down Inspired Robyn Healer and her work here, and the circle of beautiful healers that I am affiliated with, because we've grown and we've attuned and we've practiced on each other and we've grown our healing capabilities out into the open together, and we're continuing to do so, and I'm continuing to do so myself, to ascend, as we could call it, in that group, that circle of healing spiritual healers. Anyway, this is a record. This is a 2 years on record of where I'm at now, and see how much I feel like I'm lighting up a bit more. I still have a cloud, and I know that it's because there is stuff still to shift. Another part of the healing for me, and what I feel is important, and that I have noted that I have been missing in the last few years. This time last year I started doing yoga again. Lockdown happened with COVID. I tried doing it online during that time. Fell off the wagon, as I always do when I do it online for some reason. I need to go to a studio. I mean, I can do it at home, short term, yeah, but long term, my motivation is from being in the room with the instructor, with the yogi. For one, it gets me, I feel more motivated to keep holding and trying. For the other, I feel the energy of the people in the room, and doing it together lifts me and it helps me. And having someone there to spot me too, in case I'm not doing the pose correctly, is also a benefit, because I have hurt myself trying to do it at home on my own. Yeah, crazy, I know. And that set me back, because I did hurt myself. I struggled today. I started doing yoga last week, and I managed to get to 3 classes. Same this week, it'll be 3 classes by the end of the week. Unfortunately, I had appointments with neurology and all that got in the way. And I struggled today. And I think part of it did have to do with everything I'm releasing from the healing on Wednesday. The onion layers are peeling back on me. We all have them, particularly those of us who are overcoming chronic conditions like MS, or overcoming some sort of traumatic event, or some sort of stress that keeps showing up for us. It's not a one-day fix, unfortunately, as much as I'd like it to be. I've been to many healers in the past, and I've been on the yoga mat in the past, and been there again in this same zone. And I'm having a lot of deja vu moments this week, to be honest. I don't know if any of you are, but I am. Where it's the same thing happening again, and it feels like I've been there before. And I have. When you've been there before, when you've started getting back into exercise and your body is hurting, like you're shaking, your arms are shaking, your legs are shaking, there's pain in your hips. I was feeling that today. Partially because I know energetically that's where a lot of the emotion that has wanted to release for so long and now can do so, because we've shifted some barriers that were stopping it, is coming out. So it's the hips are big time for me. The back is big time for me at the moment, and the knees for some reason. I won't go into secret language of the body. It's a bit about releasing, being able to release control and move forward and things. So, and resistance. That was the big thing for me, was resistance, the topic of resistance. Yeah, so I've been through healing so many before, and I feel tired afterwards. It's not uncommon to. Maybe even pain, like joint pain, like for me this week. In the past, like being extra emotional. I woke up yesterday feeling great, other than my knees were a bit sore and things. I was a bit hyper active, happy, because I felt good. Things had lifted. But then as time goes along, it shifts again. You have another night. Like I went to bed last night and I probably could have done with a meditation before going to bed, to be honest, or a healing on myself. Reactive, and then I woke up the same, very angry. Lots of anger coming up. And this time last year, same deal, lots of anger was coming up for me. Anger. Let it go. It's all part of the healing. And it can get messy and ugly and not nice and not fun. Not fun for you, not fun for the people around you. However, I have strategies. I know I can go to yoga, and I thought I'd go to yoga and feel good, and it did feel good to a point, but it hurt. Oh my gosh, it hurt. I even wanted to cry in one pose, and I've had that happen before too. It hurts, but then you remember all that stuff you're releasing. This is part of the work that you're doing for you to move forward, to heal. And you know what? I'd rather go through this short-term hurt, ugliness, messiness for long-term gain than be on, dare I say it, an immunotherapy for the rest of my life. I'm sorry to those of you that may be on that path. And I know it seems like we don't have a choice, and maybe we don't, I don't know. Spirit guides, do we have a choice? We have a choice, and we have to live with the choice's consequences. We all have a choice, which path to take, which road or journey to take for ourselves. And there's consequences on either side, good and bad. And it's a matter of what good and bad you'd rather have. And for me, right now, I'd rather go through this dark night of the soul, the hurt, the pain, the angst, why did I stop doing yoga? No, don't be hard on yourself. The good thing is you're back. Pat yourself on the back. You're back, and you're doing it again, and you'll get back into it. I kept reminding myself, this is just today. You've only just started back. Wait until this time next year and see where you're at. And do a video then. 12 months of yoga without interruption. Consistent action will lead to flexible you and a painless, less pain you, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So yeah, that's been me the past week and a bit, and I just thought I'd share. And I think I might put this in a blog post rather than post it on social media. I don't know about you, but I'm also feeling that urge to not want to be there much. I waste so much time scrolling and not doing my own thing. And with what's happening in Australia, with Facebook cutting off all the media people, the news pages and all that. Oh, my head's spinning. Don't get into this. Don't get into this. Don't get into politics. But I mean, honestly, and I just want to say my opinion, and this video's gone for 25 minutes already. My opinion is, it wasn't built for putting the news on it anyway, was it? I thought Facebook was supposed to be a social networking, and it's about, you know, what you had for breakfast, and annoying as that is, or, you know, connecting with each other on a social level. And I know for some people that might be news, but for others it may be not wanting to see the news. And I was on that kick for a long time, and I think I may need to get back on it. I follow someone called Leonie Dawson. You may follow her too, and she's just done in the process of finishing 21 days of no social media, and she's doing like this challenge all year of 21 days of different things. And honestly, I feel like I need to as well. I'm inspired. So Inspired Robyn is inspired to follow Leonie Dawson's lead and have a go at that and try something different and see how she feels, because that may also be key to some of my healing. Because in the past, which is the part of the book I haven't written yet, I went on a media freeze. I didn't watch the news, but with COVID and everything, I've crept back into watching it because I want to see what's going on. You know, who's shut down and all that, and having been separated from my family who are down in Melbourne, I like to keep up to date with what's going on. So I'm thinking maybe it's social media and news for me. So watch this space. Anyway, I'm happy you watched through to the 27 minutes, and I will see you again soon.